All right, good Thursday morning. You're watching our First Alert live stream. We try to do this weekdays around 8:35. Give you an idea what the weather is going to do. Well, you picked a good day to watch the live stream. I'm First Alert Chief Meteorologist Steve Beylon, live in the First Alert Weather Center. We have got a winter storm, our first one of the season, that is about to bear down on the area. So let's give you all the details. A live view from our Oshkosh sky camera. It's back. Let me tell you, I'm happy to see this view. It's been down for the count for the past few months due to some technical issues, but we finally have it working again. No snow yet, but it is imminent. We have cloudy skies. The temperature is 21 degrees. Wind chill is 12 with an east wind at 7 miles an hour. Our next weather maker is the first winter storm of the season. We've been tracking this bout of snow for the past few days, and it's about to arrive. It will come down during the day today and last through tonight. And when you wake up tomorrow morning, most of us will have to shovel or snow blow 4 to 8 inches of accumulation. Towards the lakeshore, could be much more, maybe as much as 10 inches in some spots. That's because of lake effect. We'll get into that in just a moment. The National Weather Service, they've issued a winter storm warning across northeast Wisconsin into early Friday morning. And there's a winter weather advisory farther south in Marquette, Fond du Lac, Green Lake, Sheboygan counties. Excuse me, it's in that circled area in red where we could have those higher 6 to 10 inch snowfall totals. And that's because of lake effect. As the wind blows in off the water, we could have some heavier bands of some snow. So your severe weather outlook is in the high category for today and for tonight. And it looks like we're going to be in the low category early Friday morning. Even though the storm is pulling away, we still could have some slippery travel. So that is definitely something that bears some watching. All right, let's take a look at First Alert Viper Max. We've got snow. It is just arriving into Fond du Lac and Oshkosh. Looks like it's in western Shawano County, at least some light snow showers. This is just the leading edge of the snow. If we expand our view and look back to the west, you can see all that snow back across western Wisconsin out towards the Twin Cities. This is an Alberta clipper coming in. These type of storm systems, they tend to scream in from the Canadian Rockies and then zip quickly down towards the Great Lakes, following the flow of the jet stream. And, well, they sometimes have limited moisture. There is enough moisture with this storm system to produce several inches of snow. And on the back side of it, some wind. So here's First Alert forecast for today. Snow beginning in the Green Bay area closer to 10 o'clock. It's going to be a slippery and snowy afternoon. We'll find a high temperature of 30, and I suspect that's going to be around and after sunset. So temperatures will gradually rise through the 20s with an east wind blowing in around 5 to 10 miles an hour. So with the snow coming down and the slippery conditions, if you're able to, depending on how you're watching this live stream, you can download our free WBAY First Alert Weather app if you can get your camera phone, or if you're watching the live stream on your phone, it's kind of hard to do that. But if you've got your phone available, depending on how you're watching this, or your tablet, you can scan that QR code there on the left side of your screen, and that downloads our app right to your device. Doesn't cost a thing. And of course, you've got the Doppler radar, you've got the updated hour-by-hour forecast. You've got a lot of great tools to help you and your family to stay ahead of the storm system. So here's First Alert Pinpoint Predictor. Let's start off by looking at the wind. The wind is important today. See how it blows in out of the east off of Lake Michigan? That is going to help create some of these lake effect bands of snow. It's not just an east wind near the ground. It's also an east to southeast wind aloft in the atmosphere, just a few thousand feet off the ground. So that helps to create that lake effect. And there is enough unstable cold air coming across that relatively mild water to perhaps propel some of those heavier bands of snow inland as we go into the afternoon. We're looking at First Alert Pinpoint Predictor's snow intensity. So this is how hard the snow is going to come down. On the light side, up through about lunchtime, but then in the afternoon, there will be some pockets or some bands of some moderate, maybe even heavy snow for a little while, and that's going to pile up. By the time the parents are coming to pick up the kids from school this afternoon, or people are coming home from work this evening, the chance of snow in the Green Bay area gets up to about 50-50 around 10 o'clock, and then after the noon hour, it's right around 80-90%. So yeah, the evening drive time home is going to be a bit of a tricky drive. So here's a topside view of what's going on First Alert Pinpoint Predictor. That's a pretty good match to what you saw on Viper Max. That snow spreads into northeast Wisconsin, and as we go into the afternoon, if you look closely, you can see some of those blue streaks or those blue bands. That's some of the heavier bands of snow which are going to be kind of embedded in the swath of precipitation that moves across the area. Widespread, moderate snow, 5 o'clock this afternoon. That continues through 9 o'clock this evening. And then after midnight, the snow tapers and slides away. Still some flakes lakeside near Manitowoc and Sheboygan at 7 o'clock Friday morning. But by then, most of the snow is pretty much wrapping up across the area. And on the back side of this Alberta Clipper, we're going to have a bit of a breezy north to northeast wind. Some of the wind gusts will be up around 20 miles an hour. That'll probably cause a little bit of blowing and drifting, especially in rural areas and open country. I don't anticipate it being a widespread problem, but something that might blow some of the snow back out over the freshly plowed roads overnight. So first alert pinpoint predictor, again, as we look at this, just remember this is a computer projection. It never should be taken as gospel. It's a computer trying to figure out how much snow is going to come down. So it's not, perfect. But I do think that 2 to 5 inches of snow is going to be on the ground when people are coming home from work early this evening. And then we get more snow tonight. So there you go. Final totals on predictor. Mostly in that 4 to 8 inch range. There's a 9.2 there in Sturgeon Bay. They might get some lake effect there. The 1.4 there in Sheboygan is a little bit of an outlier. I think that's a little too low. I suspect your totals will be closer to 3 inches as opposed to 1.5 inches. So I would double that. So there's your first alert Super 7-day forecast. A high of 30 late today, mostly 4 to 8 inches, 6 to 10 possible lakeside. And then slick roads early Friday morning, clearing skies, a high of 27. 20 on Saturday, wind chills in the morning at and just below 0. Saturday, appropriately, is the first official day of winter. We'll come out of that cold air early next week. Another Clipper-like disturbance will give us some snow and maybe a little bit of some icy mixed precipitation on Monday. Could see a few inches of snow on that with a high near 33 degrees. In fact, that high of 33 probably will be after the Packers play the Saints. Notice that we've got snow in the forecast and probably some slippery travel as people are trying to get to Lambeau Field. At the 7:15 kickoff, 30 degrees, a lighter southeast wind compared to earlier in the day. Wind chill, though, will be enough where it's noticeable, down about 22. All right, and then after that, warmer air moves in for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And as that warmer air comes over top of the new fallen snow, we're going to have overcast skies, some areas of fog, could be locally dense. That's something to keep in mind for anybody who's traveling Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So fog, possibly thick, high temperatures, mid and upper 30s, despite that warm air coming as we get towards the holiday with the 2 bouts of snow we're getting today and then Monday. I'm feeling pretty good now that we're going to get a white Christmas. Historically speaking, Green Bay sees a white Christmas about 61% of the time. We've had some years recently where we have not had a white Christmas, so it doesn't always happen. So 61% is your climatological average there. But with those 2 rounds of snow heading our way between now and the 25th, I'm thinking that our chance this year is going to be higher than 61%. I would say it's probably closer to about 80%, maybe even closer to 90%, depending on how much snow you get today. All right, coming up on Action 2 News tonight at 4, 5, 6, and 10, meteorologist David Ernst will be in the thick of this winter storm, tracking the snow, giving you live conditions, giving you an idea of how much snow has fallen and how much snow we still have to go through. So make sure you watch him again tonight on Action 2 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10. And there I am. That's my sign to wrap things up. I hope that I gave you an idea of everything that's going to happen with our snow. One thing I neglected to mention is that I think when the snow develops this morning, it will start off a little bit on the dry side, a little powdery, especially with those temperatures in the lower 20s. But as those temperatures gradually rise into the upper 20s to near 30 later in the day, I think it may turn a little bit more fluffy in the afternoon and into the evening hours. So I wouldn't say this is perfect snowman making weather because it's not, but I'm hoping that there's enough moisture in that snow later this evening where we get a little bit of some packing snow for the kiddos who are about to go on winter break. We'll see. Again, not really classic packing snow, but hopefully enough where they can have some fun in it. All right, so there you go. There's our first alert live stream. We've got Action 2 News mid-morning starting at 9 o'clock, about just under 15 minutes from now. And let's see here. We'll have the top news stories. We'll have weather. And I think Maria Parmigiani will have a look at traffic as well. And we'll keep an eye on this winter storm all throughout the day. So stay with us on air and online, and we will first alert you any changes in that forecast. So stay safe if you're going to be out there driving. Again, give yourself lots of extra travel time and some following distance between you and other cars. And we hope to catch you tomorrow morning on the live stream, which my understanding is going to be a little bit of an extended version with meteorologist Keith Gibson, who will be in, and Maria Parmigiani giving you the very latest on what's going on with our first winter storm of the season. All right, have a great Thursday. Take care. See you around.